What is going on, everybody? Godzilla McCollum 2000 here. Okay. We are going to finish this. Godzilla, the NES Creepypasta. Chapter 8. No, it's not, the site says it's the finale, part 1 and 2. I'm gonna combine Chapter 8 finales, 2 parts, into 1 part. Because I did not feel like doing entropy that way. I really did not. And prologue will be its own. So yeah, 9 parts. Actually, no, 10. Because remember, I had to do entropy in parts. And I really hated that. Oh dear God. That was my first thought on realizing I would have to fight Red, the creature that tormented me through nearly the whole game. How could how would I be able to fight something that can kill me with one touch? It seemed totally impossible. Thankfully, Red was no longer able to deliver one-hit kills. But despite that, this was still the most difficult battle I've ever faced, in this game or otherwise. If I had any real comprehension of what I was getting into before I started the fight, I would never have done it. I very soon learned what horrible mistake I had made. Red reached out and clawed at Godzilla, and when those claws cut through him, I felt it. I know that that it's common for people to cringe up when their video game character gets hit or loses a life, but this was not that. This was genuine physical pain. When that pain struck me, I paused the game. I hadn't suffered any actual injuries, but it felt like my shoulder had been clawed through. I had seen and experienced many unpleasant things at this point, but the game causing me real pain was where I drew the line. Yes, I would be I would be disappointed that I wouldn't get to see the ending, but the risk was no longer worth it. I was about to get up to take one last screenshot and turn off the NES. Ooh, I got an idea. I actually have an NES controller. Let me show y'all. Like this, it's not officially licensed by Nintendo, but it's close as possible. So yeah, I'm gonna pretend that I'm controlling Godzilla and all the others. I was about to get up to take one last screenshot and turn off the NES when I realized something. I couldn't get up. I was paralyzed to my seat. The only muscles I could move I was paralyzed to my seat. The only muscles I could move were my fingers and thumbs. As the terror set in, a new message appeared on the screen. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to use Goji 73 for the voice of Red. Wait, what? Did I skip that? I started to scream, but only a weak choking sound was coming out. I desperately tried to get my body to move, but it did nothing. I was looking every direction, and then I looked over at the computer. Somehow, the computer was taking screenshots of the game on its own when I began to fight. I still don't know how or why. Something in the game must have been causing it. Since Red could hear what I was saying, I tried begging for him to let me go. From here, things started to get hazy as I was under extreme stress at the time. But from what I can remember, I said, I'm sorry I insulted you. I didn't mean it. I didn't know things would get this serious. Please just let me go. If you let me go, I promise I'll never tell anyone or turn the game on ever again. Please. And Red replied, only one will survive? That statement could not be any more clear. If I couldn't kill Red, then he would kill me. Like an idiot. I had played around with something I didn't understand, and now it might cost me my life. I stopped struggling to move and accepted the reality of the situation. There was only one way to get out of this alive. I had to kill Red. It went it all went by so fast, and if it weren't for the screenshots, I might not have remembered any of this. Just like in the chase levels, Red moved at a horrifyingly fast speed. There was barely enough time to process a thought, and thus there was no time to form a strategy. I had to rely solely on my wits and reflexes to make things worse. There was no way to predict what kind of attacks Red might use. So I constantly had to be on the offense and defensive. Oh, that shit looks like it fucking hurt like hell. I felt every hit that Godzilla took. They all hurt. I actually do feel like I'm getting a little stabbed. That actually is irritating me. I tried so hard to avoid the damage, but every attack that I dodged left me vulnerable to another, and the pain would only get worse. After he jumped over me, Red's eyes started to glow. I moved as far back as I could and ducked, but there was no dodging this one. When this hit me, I really did scream. I screamed so loud that someone else in the apartment should have heard me, but they didn't. Just looking at the image hurts me. making me remember the incinerating burn. I paused the game because it hurt so bad, but Red unpaused the game to attack me again, which made me furious. I immediately counterattacked with the atomic breath again and again until the power meter was totally diminished. I wanted Red to hurt like I did. Just before the timer ran out, Red transformed into his swimming form. I didn't think the timer would still be affecting a battle like this. I'm thankful for it because it gave me a few minutes to collect my thoughts and decide what to do next. I chose to fight Red's next two forms with the monsters I had encountered them with, so Anguirus was next. It probably wasn't all that smart of an idea, but it's what I did. I jumped up and heat beamed Red in the face, and he moved off screen where I couldn't reach him. Then a wave of large mines started to fall from above. I felt this was unfair, so I shouted, "If you're going to cheat, then why do you even let me use the controller?"
Then a wave of large. I felt this was unfair, so I shouted.
If you're going to cheat, then why do you even let me use the controller? And then he came at me, rushing from the top left of the screen downwards. Damn it! Now I wouldn't even be able to see where his next attack was coming from. Red continued to strike from random angles. I constantly moved to swerve around him. Another 40 seconds went by and Angus was nearly gone. But together we had forced Red into his flying form. So it was Mothra's turn next. Deciding to fight Red with Mothra was a terrible idea. Mothra was instantly overwhelmed by Red and the life meter was devastated in a mere 15 seconds. And once Mothra's life was down to 2 bars, Red did something I didn't see coming. He reached out, grabbed Mothra, and ate her. After Mothra was devoured, I felt an agonizing pain, like being crushed to death. Mothra had been killed for my stupidity, and I would share the pain. It was a short transition from the battle to the board, but it felt like an hour. Okay, I'm gonna get to the next line. Okay.
Red, that's one of the.
Shut up. Okay, we're to the part with Solomon and Red. Good. Yeah, guys. Oh, and it's gonna get to where Red's gonna be talking through most of this shit. The pain combined with being unable to move was driving me insane. I wanted so badly for this to end. I never wanted anything so much. But I still had hope. There was only one monster that could be brought to full health by engaging Red in battle. Solomon. If any of them had a chance to save my life now, it would be him. Solomon apparently had some history with Red. As when the fight started, this dialogue happened. Red took me by surprise again by immediately burning me with his demonic fire breath a second time. As much as it hurt, it actually worked to my advantage. Since Solomon started at full life, he had some to spare. But now Red had used up all his energy and could not use his ultimate weapon any longer. Now he would die. As he drew close to the end of his life bar, Red turned his whole body to face the screen and flew upwards, then slamming back down in an attempt to crush Solomon. When that failed to work, he tried to devour Solomon like he had Mothra. But he wouldn't be eating my monster this time. I thought I had won, but something was wrong. Red wasn't sinking to the bottom and I still couldn't move. Red was still alive. Okay, this is literally something that the NES cannot fucking do. Y'all know this. Ah, shit, I was supposed to.
Had reconstructed his body into.
Wait, did I miss that?
And I still.
I'm missing something or that's not part of this. This is cut out. Wait, what?
Couldn't move. Ray was still alive.
Okay, now we scroll up to the top and I fucking have to go immediately to part 2. But, like I said at the beginning of this video, we were going to do... After his seeming defeat by Solomon, Red had constructed his body into his gigantic final form, transporting us to a blazing inferno where, in the process, it was reminiscent of our first encounter, except now the scenery, much like the true power of Red, had become very real. The music had erupted into a loud blaring sound, a ferocious drum of death. Faced against Red's insane amount of health. Okay, let me stop right there. His insane amount of health. Alright, that's 23 right there. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69. 69, 68, 67. You might as well say 66 life bars left to go, Zach. My own demise was imminent. 66 bars of health left to go. With Solomon only at 5 bars. 5 bars compared to 66? No, not gonna happen.
After his seeming
Okay, there was probably a sentence clipped out from the story because I did not see that part about that Red constructed his body into his gigantic final form. Unless I read that. Oh yeah, it's right there. Solomon was my strongest monster, but now he stood a chance. It was like trying to fight a mountain. Oh, cheeky bastard, you cheeky motherfucker. 23 full bars of energy and, wait a minute, 69, 68, 67, 66, 65 and a half bars of health. Bro, if this game is ever fully completed, you can bet your sorry ass I'm not gonna do this. I want Titan Alante and his friends to play the entire game. But I want to know how the hell did they fuck up on just the first red location? That was the first encounter. Oh yeah, if you ever try to play the game, do not fall. Do not let red get you 3 times in a row for Mothra and Godzilla because you will lose. And you will have to start Pathos all over again. Within seconds, Solomon was overpowered and dropped to the floor when Red crushed him to death underneath his foot. The sadistic demon took his time as he snapped Solomon's vertebrae and ribs like dry, brittle twigs. I could tell he was enjoying our pain. $69, $68, $67, $66, yeah, 65 and a half. Making sure he didn't regain any health.
He took his time as he snapped Solomon's vertebrae and ribs like dry little twigs. I could tell he was enjoying our pain.
This is hopeless. I'm a dead man. I had no choice but to send another monster to his grave. You know what? I'm done trying to count how many pegs of health he's got left. I'm done. All I'm going to say is I know he's got over 50. I had no choice but to send another monster to his death. We were all going to die. I only hoped they would forgive me. After decreasing Red's health by a minuscule amount, Angus was also obliterated. Red unleashed a hail of blazing hot needles into his face until he collapsed. Angus, no! Another moment of unspeakable agony and another moment of unspeakable agony, then nothingness as my ally faded away.
Then nothingness as my ally faded away.
I asked Red how he knew my name, and then he said, okay, see, okay, time out. Time the fuck out. If a game causes a demon to hurt and kill my girlfriend or any of my girlfriend, in any way, shape, or form, I will lose all sense of compliance, reasoning, and stability. Play the fucking game to where the demon is and start swearing my ass out, saying, I'm gonna shove a tree and my fist so far up your ass, you're gonna regret even being created. I'm not kidding. If y'all have a loved one and this happened to you, tell me you not feel the slightest bit angry. Tell me the truth. For years, she was being tortured by something nobody understood. Now I knew what it was. Now I understood why I was mocked about Melissa's death and how the game knew about it. Because he knew about it. Because he was the one responsible. And this time, he was going to kill me.
Because he was the one responsible. And this time, he was going to kill me.
I was taken back to the board to send Godzilla to his final stand. Barely anything was left of the board. Just Godzilla and Red's icon. And the fifth monster. In the midst of everything that was happening, I had completely forgotten about it. I tried yet again to select it. I cursed, I begged, I screamed at it to do something, anything to help me. To no avail. There was only one thing to do. Okay. Fuck you, Red. I'm not. Bro, you actually teleport through my computer screen. I'm throwing this computer on the ground. I mean every fucking word of it. If he pops through my screen during the night, threatening me, I am gonna break my computer. I don't care what the fuck happens. I don't care how much money I blew on this damn thing. This computer will be destroyed if that shit, what I just said, happens. I knew Godzilla didn't stand any more of a chance than the rest did. But maybe, now that all the other monsters were gone, the fifth monster might finally awaken. I managed to get the creature's icon selected, and I pressed the A button as fast I selected the A button and I pressed the A button as fast as I could. The icon started to shake, as if it were trying desperately to move. It was then Red decided he was done playing fair. And before I could activate the monster, he went for the killing blow, paralyzing my heart. My hands started to become numb and unfeeling. But even as my vision was fading away, I still tried pressing the A button.
But even as my vision was fading, I still tried to press the A button.
Red surely was breaking Red was surely breaking one of the rules. But he must have thought that if he could kill me quickly, then it would be too late for any consequences to matter. He would have won. He was wrong. Whoa, trippy. Oh, I'm also gonna do the voice actor for Melissa's death. God damn it!
From killing it. And when I regained my vision,
Red's power was being challenged by another force. It prevented him from killing me. And when I regained my vision, I saw a familiar sight.
I saw a familiar sight.
Who are you? What? How is that possible? Red told me they killed you.
It's true. Even after death, he told you. If you can't stop it, he'll do the same to you.
But how are you? Stop him now.
I can't find Red, but there's one we can. I will release him from Red's grasp. Don't give up. I love you.
Okay, I don't care what the fuck y'all. Okay, I don't care what the fuck y'all say about the ending to this creepypasta. If a character in the game, even if it's your dead girlfriend, says "I love you," play like you fucking mean it, and that your life is actually in the balance. Oh my fucking god, no, you are not putting me through this hell again. We're gonna repeat that.
I can't find Red, but there's one we can. I will release him from Red's grasp. Don't give up. I love you.
And I will state this again. Let's say my girlfriend was dead and she was in the game. Imagine when she says, "Don't give up, I love you." I'm fucking doing everything in my capable powers. Playing like I will break the controller and putting and saving her tortured soul and my life. And when I beat the game, I do this. Boom! But yeah, you guys know in creepypastas, if a loved one says, "I love you," feel fucking emotional. Duh. Ain't that a human trait? A human trait. I love you. 3 magical words. See, people who love the creepypasta just doesn't understand because they didn't act in character. They did not fucking act like they were Zack. It was me and Goji73 who were the only people who fucking acted like they were Zack. Yeah, these little rant tantrums can get a little long. Her words stirred something inside of me. I wasn't going to die like this. And I had more to fight. I had more to fight. I had more to fight her here for than I had more to fight to. That sentence doesn't make a fucking lick of shit. And I had more to fight her for than just my own life. I had to fight to save Melissa and the world she inhabits. With her help, the fifth monster was finally unleashed. Acacius, the Golden Light. See, I'm the one that will read a character's name. It's between Acacius and Red. It was time to end this once and for all. Together, we would take this damned hell spawn out of existence. I'm gonna cover your face. Okay, Acacius has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 bars of health. The same amount as Red when the first part of this story started. Oh, Red, you're being a smartass, huh?
Unleashed. It was time to end this once and for all.
We would take this damn hell spawn out of existence. They cannot save you. You know what?
Once and for all, we would.
Acacius was by far the strongest playable monster in the game. He had to be if we were going to have any chance of surviving. His punches involved turning his hands into blades, which caused tremendous damage, but Red had more than enough life to spare. In the end, this would come down to pure skill. With one final strike, Red was destroyed. His body disintegrated and sank below, accompanied by a soar of triumphant music. Slowly, the paralysis wore off, and I was able to stand up again. Oh, so the flames in the background were because Red was alive. We had done it. Melissa's death had been avenged, and I felt overwhelmed. And I felt overwhelmingly. Okay. I had felt overwhelmingly happiness. Overwhelmed with happiness until I remembered all the death and pain that led up to this point. All the other monsters who had fought and died, I was about to mourn them, but the game had yet to conclude. Godzilla! Tears of joy streamed down my face, and I broke out crying. I cried harder than I cried harder than I have in several years, maybe in my whole life. All I had been through, all I had discovered, and now the game was coming to an end. But before she and the others left, Melissa had something to tell me. God! my god! I forgot this was part of the damn story. Shut up, Red. Dealing with your fucking ass.
All I had discovered, and now the game was coming to an end. But before she and the others left, Melissa had something to tell me.
You have saved us. We are forever grateful. We'll be together again someday.
Okay, you know what? I might just throw in the epilogue as part 3 just to get this over with. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's exactly what the fuck I'm gonna do. I'm gonna throw in epilogue. Epilogue is gonna be I am Zachary, and at the time I write this, it has been 3 weeks since the fateful night when I played the NES Godzilla game. Going back to that night, to immediately after I turned off the NES, once I was able to start walking around again, the first thing I did was unplug the NES, take out the cartridge, and put them in separate sock drawers. I looked over at the computer. All the screenshots you've seen in the story were saved. I backed all the images on a flash drive before I turned the computer off, just in case. After that, I hit the bed and instantly passed out. It was not a restful sleep, but one of complete exhaustion. It felt like no time had passed before I woke again. And what a day! And what a day that was. The first thought I recall coming to mind was, what the hell happened last night? I thought about it for a short while until it occurred to me to contact the person I got the game from to begin with. Billy! So I called him up and told him to just come over to my apartment, which he did. And I showed him the screenshots and gave him a very basic summary of what had happened. At first, he thought I was pulling a joke on him. But he soon realized that was not the case. Once it hit him that it was real, that this was real, he was speechless. He made it very clear that he had absolutely not tampered with the game and had no idea about any of this. So then the obvious question was asked to Billy, where did you get this game? Where did you get this from? I got a simple answer of another friend of mine that I trade games with. He assured me, he assured me that this was a trustworthy person and he had never had any issues with games he got from him before. So then Billy called him, and when we told this guy the story, he was as shocked and surprised as anyone, except he abruptly hung up on us. This was clearly going nowhere. Before Billy left that day, he asked me if I wanted him to take the cartridge and dispose of it. I sharply declined. He asked how could I how I could possibly still want to keep that thing. I told him that I needed time to think it over, and that was that. Billy and I haven't talked much since. Even though I've told him this isn't his fault. This isn't the case. I got the impression that Billy thinks what happened with the game is his fault. I jumped ahead. After he left that day, I did a lot of thinking. It was very hard for me to do anything else, really. I couldn't stop thinking about the game. There were so many questions left unanswered. What was Red? Was Melissa really in the game? How did she get there? Why did all this happen with this game? But the one question that kept me for many nights was he had Red said he had known me for a long time. How? Ever since then, I can't shake this feeling of being watched. The game made me ask myself about death and reality in ways that I never wanted to think about. I'm not too sure of anything anymore. Constantly thinking about it soon began to have a negative impact on my life. I just didn't care about anything else at this point. But by comparison, all of the other day to day activities seemed utterly pointless. I eventually decided that I had to choose between one of two things: try to play the game again or destroy it. I tried several times to convince myself to try the former, but I never got farther than plugging the NES back up. Just touching the cartridge made me remember all the pain I felt during the fight with Red. I wondered if perhaps playing the game again myself might cause something terrible to happen. I didn't know anything about how this game worked, and it was too risky. I wasn't sure I could stand another round of the game anyway. So then it was time for the other option. Wanting to get some fresh air, I took the game with me and drove to the lake, planning to throw it in. I got up to the lake with the cartridge in my hands, and I looked down on it and I thought of Melissa. If what I had experienced in the game was indeed genuine, doing what I did may have been the only way to save her from endless torture. In a way, this warped game may have saved her soul. Damn it! Once that thought came into my head, I knew then I wouldn't be able to destroy it. So I sat down at a bench, gazing at the lake for about an hour, ultimately decided on a third option, selling the game on eBay. Okay, question. Why the fuck would you put the game on a website where anyone can buy it, not knowing the story, and they could potentially die? That don't make no fucking sense. Any cartridge of Godzilla Monsters could have the creepypasta inside of it. And this dude just puts it on fucking eBay. That's stupid as shit. It may be selfish, but I promise you that it has nothing to do with money. I don't care how much or little I get paid for this game. Believe me, it's selfish because I don't want the responsibility of owning this cartridge anymore. I cannot dwell on this forever, and the only way I can deal with this is by putting the game out of my life. So this brings me to the main reasons I created a summary of these events. First is to record the details while I can remember them. And second is that whoever bids on this game knows what they're getting into. I can't guarantee the safety of anyone else who plays the game or that anything will happen at all, but to the new owner of this game remember this. Be careful. And if you feel as if the game is literally messing with your mind, shut the damn thing off. I'm going to let you guys see that last sentence read by me with my facial feature. Okay, but to the new owner of this game, remember this. Be careful. And if you feel as if the game is literally messing with your mind, shut the damn thing off. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me on this adventure for reading the NES Godzilla Creepypasta. If you guys want me to read the NES Godzilla replay, I will do it, but I will only do it when the full story is out. I will not do it before. I will not do it a minute before the full story is done. So that could take another few years. And I want y'all to understand that this is a fun series. I'm telling you. I actually felt like I was legit. I actually felt legit happy. I felt like I was legitimately in the game. I literally felt like I was legit playing it. Now here's how Zach ends his here's how Goji73 ends his read of the game. Hold up.
Or that anything will happen at all. But to the new owner of this game, you remember this.
Be careful. And if you feel as if the game is literally messing with your mind, shut the damn thing off. I feel like that is a line that can be quoted so fast. Like, let's say you got a haunted copy of Pokemon's Shining Pearl, and the game fucking starts bugging out. And you get, like, creepy ass shit that you're not supposed to see in the game. Destroy it. I don't care if it looks like a Easter egg or whatever. it's fucking scaring you. If it scares you, if it shows you some mental part of your past, take the game out of your system, destroy it, and warn people. Tell your own story. But I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. This was a fun read. This was legitimately a fun read. Even though at times Red scared me, literally gave me a scare or two. And I want to thank Goji73 for voicing Red. Dude, sorry I had to use your voice from the videos as Red, because as me voicing Red, it was shit. Compared to you, you may actually feel like Red was legit talking to you. So I want to thank y'all so much for watching. If you want to watch the original read, check out Goji73's NES Godzilla Creepypasta. He does a fantastic job. And I really actually wonder if the creator of the NES Godzilla Creepypasta game is actually gonna do it. Like, finish the game. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Godzilla McComb signing out. Click that subscribe button, ring that, tap on that bell icon to be notified when I live stream and upload. And share this video around, like it, comment on it. Be sure to do all that amazing shit. And as always, this has been Godzilla McComb signing out. Oh yeah, and one more announcement. In November, sometime in November, I will be getting Game Dev Tycoon. And we will be doing a Let's Play on it. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, peace.